All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go from Las Vegas. Edmund Jones and Mark D'Antuma on the front row. Clay Kirchenbauer, Patrick Pieper on the second row. Ryan McDaniel starts in fifth. The top five are the Cup cars. Brian Hewitt is the first truck in sixth. Then Austin Ruskoff, Jeremy Queener, seventh and eighth. Andy Wilkinson, Malachi Martin round out the top 10. Richard Cragen starts in 11th. And once again this week, two different vehicles, two different fuel strategies. The Cup cars looking at 45 to 48 laps on a tank of fuel. The trucks just 40 to 45 laps. And some of the drivers did say they can keep their foot in it for a lot of laps here before they had to start backing out. So tire strategy will be a huge one here tonight as well. In practice, the Cup cars were faster than the trucks, but there were some cases of the trucks able to hang with the Cup cars in the draft. We'll see how much of that plays out here, or will the field split in the early laps? All right, pace car leads them through 3 and 4. And here we go, pace car is in. And the green flag flies. They are down and away in Vegas. Everybody heads off into turn one. The truck's still right there. Brian Hewitt trying to get past Ryan McDaniel, but coming out of turn two, the Cup cars open up a bit of a gap on the trucks back behind. Mark D'Antuma looking to the high side for the lead, coming out of 4. And D'Antuma will lead lap 1. Wow. Patrick Pieper was way loose. Coming down the front straightaway, he's got it gathered up. Brian Hewitt leads the trucks at the moment, followed by Jeremy Queener, Austin Ruskoff, Andy Wilkinson, Malachi Martin, and Richard Cragen. As they're still battling for the lead up front. And Pieper's going for second. Almost slid into Edmund through 1 and 2. Things got a little bit dicey there. Brian Hewitt is already pulling away from the trucks behind as Austin Ruskoff and Jeremy Queener battle. And Patrick is going for the lead. Edmund's going to follow him through. Mark D'Antuma sliding back to 4th. Edmund's got to run down the backstretch. Really tight, side by side through 3 and 4. Pieper has the nose ahead at the line. Meanwhile, Brian Hewitt's gap on the rest of the trucks has started to close. Austin Ruskoff, Jeremy Queener closing in. together, all 5 Cup cars right there together, and all 5 trucks right there together. The Cup cars at the moment about 1.3 seconds a lap faster than the trucks. It's not going to take long, and the Cup cars will be coming through the trucks. That'll make things interesting. Whoa! Malachi Martin gave the wall a little kiss out of turn 4. Brian Hewitt now has Ruskoff right on his bumper. Clay Kirchenbauer, Ryan McDaniel have slipped back just a little bit from that top 3 that are all nose to tail. But Edmond's starting to look under Pieper again out of turn 2. Oh, Hewitt is way up the track. Austin Ruskoff slips by. Andy Wilkinson is going to come with him. As Mark Dantuma is reclaiming the lead up front. Clay Kirchenbauer and Ryan McDaniel pulling back up to that lead pack. Ryan had a big run down into turn 3's under Clay for 4. Austin now leads the trucks back behind. Brian Hewitt right beside Andy Wilkinson. Hewitt trying to get back to the front of that group. Richard Cragen starting to move up as well. He is now up to 4th place in the trucks. $11 laps into this, and the Cup cars already 10 seconds ahead of the trucks. Well, thank you for the lap. How are you doing tonight, Braswell Cup? Austin still out front of the trucks, but the battle behind is heating up. Brian Hewitt and Andy Wilkinson still side by side. We've got one blinking. I believe that was Cragen that blinked. Malachi Martin has backed off for the moment. Meanwhile, back up front, Mark Dantuma still leads the Cup cars. Patrick Pieper and Edmund Jones going back and forth for 2nd. And Ryan has a run, tried to peek under. Ryan now looking under Edmund for 3rd. Still leading the trucks back behind. We noted a moment ago that the Cup cars, as Patrick Pieper goes to the lead, the Cup cars already about 10 seconds a lap ahead, or 10 seconds ahead. It only takes these Cup cars about 30 seconds to take a lap here. They are slowing down due to tire wear. So are the trucks, though. It won't be many laps until this group has to deal with that group. And if both groups are staying as tight as they are right now, things are going to get spicy. I appreciate it, Braswell. Thank you, buddy. And good luck when you get home to race. Patrick Pieper going for the move up top. Remember, they can carry a lot of momentum out of that I side. He might have a run on Dan Tuma now. Couldn't capitalize on it going into 3 quite yet. Back behind in the trucks, they're getting 3 wide as Brian Hewitt slips to the back. Austin Ruskov starting to pull away just a little bit from Jeremy Queener. Richard Cragen now in 3rd, about 0.6 of a second back. Patrick Pieper, Mark Dantuma up front battling for the lead. And these lead battles are keeping that field really close together. That top 5, oh, Ryan kissed the wall. That top 5 is staying really close as the trucks start to spread out. Back in, and Cragen is closing in as well. We saw Cragen in the early going, hanging at the back for a while. Looks like he saved some tires, and it is paying off. Andy Wilkinson has slipped back along with Brian Hewitt and Malachi Martin, all of them battling it out. Mark Dantuma continues to lead the Cup cars, followed by Edmund Jones, Patrick Pieper, Clay Kirchenbauer, and Ryan McDaniel. But as we have seen since this went green, every one of these cars could shoot from the back to the front on any given lap. We have seen a lot of lead changes here tonight. Andy Wilkinson has reeled in the top 3 in the trucks as well. Brian Hewitt about 1.4 seconds back, with Malachi right there with him. That top 4 starts battling. Brian and Malachi will be back in the fight. Oh, Cragen gets a wall at a 4. Andy able to slip by on the bottom. These Cup cars the trucks are about halfway through their fuel run. The Cup cars will be there here in just a moment. Whoa! Pieper comes up into Edmund's nose. Wow, that was close. Great driving by both of them to save it. Now the question is, did either driver take any damage? This is an aero-dependent track, and these Gen 6 cars do not like aero damage. Looks like Edmund's car is okay. Patrick Pieper seems to be okay as well. Great save by the drivers. Mark Dantuma got himself a little breathing room as that battle played out. Clay Kirchenbauer now to second, trying to close in. Back behind in the trucks, Austin and Richard Cragen still nose to tail. Andy's sitting in third, but Queener has lost some ground. Gerald, that was a Code Brown moment. Brian Hewitt, Malachi Martin about to catch up to Queener. With the top three trucks having a little bit of gap, if these three back behind can work together, they could reel them back in. Hey, good evening, Richie. I'm sorry you missed it, buddy. Folks, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. We'll have all the updates for all the 2026 seasons as they become official, including the C12 Motorsports. They are going to the 87s next season. And Mark Dantuma has the lead for now, Richie, but Clay is right back to his bumper, and here comes Pieper and Edmond. Top three in the truck, still fairly spread out. These three behind, now behind Brian Hewitt. They're right at 2 seconds behind at the moment, but if these three work together, they could reel that top three in easily. Meanwhile, Austin Ruskov, Richard Cragen, and Andy Wilkinson starting to put some distance. And we mentioned the Cup cars. They're, due to tire wear, they're down to about 31.5 seconds a lap. Already about 1.5 seconds a lap, slower than their fastest laps. But the trucks are doing about 32 seconds a lap at the moment. The Cup cars are going to catch up and lap the trucks, but they're not gaining as much time as they were. Well, they're 3 wide into 1 and 2. On old tires, this is a gutsy move. Clay Kirchenbauer holds them off and holds on to second. This group is currently 23 seconds ahead of the trucks, which also means they're only about 8 seconds behind. Mark Dantuma goes into turn 1. Austin Ruskov halfway down the back straightaway. Let's see if we can dial up the in-car camera of Mark Dantuma and see just how close these trucks are. There you see that back 3 just ahead as he goes off into 1 and 2. Mark's taking it down on the bottom through 1 and 2. Getting as much of a run as possible. He comes out of 2. Heads back down into turn 3. Coming out of turn 3, down the front stretch, and you can see just how much he has gained in the last lap. The trucks have spread out just a little bit. That is going to be the biggest help for the Cup guys. And to make things even more interesting, the trucks are about 10 laps away from coming in for fuel The Cup cars as much as 15 laps away. But if the Cup guys get to the trucks during a round of pit stops, it's gonna make things even crazier. Is just about caught up to Jeremy Queener. He is bringing Patrick Pieper, Clay Kirchheimer, and Edmund Jones with him. Ryan McDaniel in fifth has lost some ground. And here they come through the trucks. Mark looks underneath Malachi. Everybody's made it by Queener so far. Andy Wilkinson has lost touch with the top two. That's going to make it a little bit easier for Dan Tuma and crew to get through. Jeremy Queener, Malachi Martin couldn't get hooked onto the draft. Austin Ruskoff, Richard Cragen, the top two trucks. Mark Dan Tuma and crew now looking underneath Brian Hewitt. If you've missed any of this season's races, go check them out on our YouTube channel. Just a short winter season, but the guys have loved doing this multi-class racing. It does make things interesting. Patrick Pieper taking advantage of the truck, goes to the high side, goes back to second. Now Edmund looking under Clay for third. And Richard Cragen is in. A couple laps earlier than we expected, but he is within the window. Looks like it'll be 4 tires and fuel for Cragen. No tricks this early in the race. Edmund Jones is the first Cup car in. Ryan McDaniel moves back up into 4th for the moment. Man, pit stops are going to be sketchy when these guys come in. Hey, good evening, John. How are you? Austin Ruskoff leads the trucks. He is in. Jeremy Queener also coming in. Ryan McDaniel in the Cup car is in. And when everybody comes out on fresh tires, things will heat up again. Mark Dan Tuma and Patrick Pieper have now put some distance between them and Clay Kirchenbauer. No problems on pit road so far, no penalties. Everybody on their way back out. It's definitely going to be interesting to see how some of these guys do on fresh tires in the trucks up against old tires in the Cup cars. Mark Dantuma, Patrick Pieper, they're stretching their fuel. Clay Kirchenbauer is in. Malachi Martin also in. Patrick Pieper has given up second. He is in. John, you have fun tomorrow, buddy. Richard Cragen was the first truck in. He is now the lead truck, followed by Austin Ruskoff. Austin about 4.8 seconds back. And Mark Dantuma is in. Mark Dantuma was the last car on pit road. Edmund Jones now in second. He'll go by Cragen. Mark Dantuma on his way out. He may end up losing the lead here, but he will have the freshest tires on track. Clay Kirchenbauer comes by, takes second. Dantuma back to third, Pieper in fourth, Ryan McDaniel in fifth. And Patrick Pieper not that far behind. Austin Ruskoff hanging with him for the moment. But Edmund Jones came in on lap 40, one of the early drivers to pit road. He was the first Cup car in. He's got a 2.7 second lead over Clay at the moment. Richard Cragen, who leads the trucks at the moment, has a 4.1 second lead on Austin. Brian Hewitt back up into third, Malachi in fourth, Jeremy Queener in fifth, Andy Wilkinson in sixth. He had an extended stop on pit road. Doesn't look like a penalty, just looks like he might have been getting repairs. All the trucks now showing a lap down. Have a good night, John. Have fun tomorrow, buddy. Are you doing the nuclear stress test or the chemical? Or I mean the walking? Cragen's lead is starting to shrink. Austin is getting closer. Now 3.7 seconds back. And Edmund Jones' lead out front. He is starting to lose some ground. Clay now 2.25 seconds back. Mark Dantuma and Patrick Pieper also closing in. Ryan McDaniel still, holy cow! Hold on to her, Ryan. Wow. He was big loose coming through 1 and 2. Looked like he might have touched the apron. But a great save by Ryan. And also a big help to Brian Hewitt. Brian gets a little draft help down the front stretch. Brian Hewitt is closing the gap on Austin, now just 5.7 seconds behind. Clay Kirchenbauer and crew now less than 2 seconds behind Edmund. Remember, Mark Dantuma does have the freshest tires on track as he and Pieper come by Clay Kirchenbauer. Edmund Jones navigating his way by Andy. And I think we're going to see a little bit more of this. The truck's trying to hang on to the back of the Cup cars for as long as possible. That little bit of draft is going to be huge if you can make it work for you. Richard Cragen still leads the trucks. Austin now 3 1/4 seconds back, continuing to gain ground. Man, Edmund's lead is shrinking quickly once Mark got to second. This group hooked up and they took off. And this is also huge for Andy Wilkinson. He has been able to hang on for about a lap now onto Clay. He is only 3 1/4 seconds behind Queener, and he is closing quickly. And that group has caught Edmund, and Mark looks to, some contact coming out of tube. Edmund holds on, and Mark Dantuma reclaims the lead. Whoa, Edmund pushed up. Clay had a close call. Clay able to pull it low and take advantage. Edmund just kissed the wall. Oh, we've got a truck in the wall. That was Jeremy Queener in the wall. The cars had to get evasive quickly, but everybody comes out okay. Man, that cost Queener a lot of ground. Andy Wilkinson now just 1.6 seconds back. Mark Dantuma leads in the Cup cars, followed by Patrick Pieper. Clay Kirchenbauer, Edmund Jones is losing ground in 4th. Ryan McDaniel back in 5th. And the truck's led by Richard Cragen, but his lead also shrinking. Austin now just 2.7 seconds back. Brian Hewitt in 3rd, Malachi in 4th. Jeremy Queener in 5th. Andy Wilkinson is the 6th truck at the moment, but Andy continues to close on Jeremy. Oh, Malachi kisses the wall, but otherwise the Cup cars get by unscathed. And man, that little knock into the wall Edmund had just a couple laps ago, he has lost a lot of time since then. Not seeing any significant damage, but something is definitely wrong with that car. Hey, good evening, David. How are you? Meanwhile, the top three Cup cars still nose to tail. Mark Dantuma, Patrick Pieper, Clay Kirchenbauer. Edmund Jones has slipped back 2.4 seconds. Ryan still holding on to fifth, but it does look like Ryan may be closing the gap on Edmund. He definitely has enough time to get there. Richard Cragen continues to lead the trucks, but now Austin just 2.25 seconds back. So, Clay told us about the race. Indy came home in second. If we talk to Clay, we'll let him know. Great job by Indy. And folks, if you've never checked them out, go check out Indy Kirchenbauer Racing on Facebook. Keep up with that kid. Someday, that kid, you're going to be watching him on TV. Patrick Pieper is going for the lead up top. Remember, Mark has fresher tires than the two cars there with him, only by a couple laps, but as this run goes on, here in Las Vegas, that is a big difference. But Patrick Pieper claims the lead. Clay Kirchenbauer sitting in third, right there with them. Clay was the first of that group to come to pit road. He has the oldest tires. But as long as he stays in the draft, he should be able to hang on and see what he can do on the final run. Gerald, you're not wrong. In fact, some of the drivers told me they could full throttle it around here for 25 to up to 30 laps before they had to start cracking the throttle. Again, as we mentioned in pre-race, though, both the Cup cars and the trucks were having problems in dirty air. If they were in the draft, whatever vehicle they're in, it started to push. Austin Ruskoff still closing that gap on Cragen. As Clay Kirchenbauer goes for the lead. Whoa, now Mark goes for it. Clay had it briefly, but Mark shoots by on the high side. Those slightly fresher tires that Mark has starting to pay off. Patrick still holds second, Clay in third. Richard Cragen still out front. Austin just about 2.5 seconds behind Brian Hewitt. He is gaining some ground, but he is 5.5 seconds back. He's got a whoa, it gets tight. Man, it got a little tight there coming out of turn 2. Clay practically pushing Hewitt's truck down the backstretch. Austin was closing quickly on Richard Cragen, but at the moment, that gap seems to have stabilized around 2.5 seconds. Austin has 2-lap newer tires than what Richard Cragen has, but it looks like they may have equalized. Malachi Martin back in fourth in the trucks. Andy Wilkinson fifth, closing in. Jeremy Queener, after the wall ride through 1 and 2, has slipped back to sixth. And the gap is also stabilized between Ryan and Edmund. Ryan holding about 17.9 seconds back. And Queener has come in. He's only about 4 or 5 laps early. But he could make up some ground here with the early stop. And Patrick Pieper is looking for the lead again. Mark Dantuma once again holds him off. Clay just lurking back behind. Jeremy on his way back out on track. And Queener's coming up to speed on the backstretch. He does have fresh tires. And I'm wondering, with him on fresh tires and the Cup cars on old tires, will he be able to hang with them, or, well, not going to hold them off for now. Oh, Pieper's hard in the wall. Richard Cragen is in. Oh, Clay gets into Queener. Queener's around. Patrick avoided it. And the caution is out for the first time tonight. Wow. A lot of close calls, but no caution until now. Let's take another look at Queener's incident. There's Jeremy up on the high side as Patrick gets into the wall and they go through. Clay comes up, didn't realize Queener was there, gets into him and sends him around. Patrick had a very close call. And we're likely to see everybody in. They can all go the distance from here on fuel. Mark Dantuma is leading the field in. Patrick Pieper has significant damage. Fortunately, they do have a fast repair. Jeremy Queener also in will be getting that truck fixed. Richard Cragen stays out. He was leading at the moment of caution. And here they come off pit road. And Mark Dantuma reclaims the lead. 4 tires and fuel for all the drivers. We had 80 laps of green flag running, so we're likely to see this go green to the end, but now everything is tightened back up. Should be getting the 1 to green this time by. Austin Ruskoff has come back in to top off, but I'm not sure why. They had enough fuel to go the distance from there. Oh, Cragen had just completed his pit stop before the caution had trapped him a lap down from the rest of the trucks. So this will put him back on the same lap as them. And you know what, folks? When we don't have cautions, we don't have any opportunities to get loud. And we got a caution now, so we're going to crank it up on the restart. When the green flag drops, I'm going to shut up, let you guys crank it up, listen to all this multi-class power. Whoa, what in the... That was peculiar. Alright, pace car is in. And the green flag flies. Crank it up, y'all. It is a beautiful sound listening to the cars and the trucks fly by. As we've got a battle on for the lead, Clay Kirchheimer, Mark Dantuma in the fight. And with that caution, Ryan McDaniel is back up in the mix. Clay going to the apron, trying to get that lead. Mark on the high side, Edmund right behind with Pieper. Back behind, Andy Wilkinson leads the trucks for the moment. Cragen in second, Hewitt to third, Ruskoff in fourth, Malachi in fifth. Jeremy Queener currently in sixth. Mark Dantuma holds on to the lead again. Remember, he no longer has the advantage of the freshest tires. Everybody back on an equal set. Ryan McDaniel still with the pack in the fight. Edmund Jones, remember, kissed the wall right after the green flag stops. He had lost a lot of ground. This caution brought him back into the fight. And he just set the fastest lap of the night. He's not going to waste this opportunity. He is sending it. And Brian Hewitt is back to the front of the trucks. As Richard Cragen just kissed the wall. Yes, he is, Tina. We have been saying for quite a while we expect to see Hewitt in victory lane any day now. He's leading the trucks at the moment. Can he hold on? Hey, good evening, JR. How you feeling, buddy? Edmund Jones, Patrick Pieper battle for second. Ryan may have a run. Nope, not quite. He peaked low for a minute, but didn't have enough to get the run under Clay. I'm glad it got better, buddy. The top five trucks all right there together. The 5 Cup cars all together ahead. And here's the interesting point to mention. 25 laps left to go. They will be coming to the end of this race. About the same point the Cup cars will be lapping the trucks again. That could make the final 5 laps of this race very exciting. Austin Ruskoff looks low on Hewitt. Brian trying to fight back up top. Andy Wilkinson in the mix. Cleo's been the only Cup car all night to consistently run that high line. And now going to the apron, trying to make up some ground. He gets him back underneath of Edmund. Brian is able to hold off Austin for the moment. Richard Cragen still lurking right there, as well as Jeremy Queener. Jeremy needs a caution to get him back on the same lap as the rest of the trucks. Malachi has lost the draft for the moment. Ryan McDaniel now looking under Clay for fourth. Clay using that high line, gets a better run. On exit, pulls back up. Everybody in this lead group still within the draft. Ryan needs to pull up just a little bit. He's at risk of losing the draft as they come out of 2. Meanwhile, these 5 trucks still nose to tail. 20 laps to go. If they can stay like this and continue to run at this pace, they may not get the Cup cars back into their fight. Whoa! Clay, it looks like got loose out of 2. Went all the way to the apron. He does manage to save it. The truck's still sitting single file for the moment. And the Cup cars, top 3, have opened up a little bit of gap on Clay and Ryan. As Pieper looks for the lead under Dan Tuma again. Couldn't quite get there. Edmund tried to get the run up top and slammed the door on Pieper. Couldn't get there. And these 3 have been back and forth a lot tonight. And a lot of very close calls. And as you can see, a lot of sparks fly. They have got these cars as low as they can get them tonight. They caught back up to the pack. Oh, a little contact between him and Edmund as they go off into 1. Ryan in 5th has lost the draft. If they keep battling, he has a chance to get back up there. And Brian Hewitt continues to lead the trucks with Andy in 2nd. Austin has slipped back to 3rd. Richard Cragen lurking in 4th. We saw him do this early in the race. He stayed toward the back, conserved those tires, and was able to get through when it counted. Oh, Pieper rather, loose off into 1. And Edmund Jones kissed the wall again. And Clay Kirchenbauer now going for the lead. Clay trying to get that run up top. They go off into 1. And Clay may take it here. Patrick's following him through. Edmund Jones also back up into the fight. 11 to go. Brian Hewitt, Andy Wilkinson starting to put some space between them and Cragen. Austin Ruskoff is slipping back. As we mentioned a moment ago, Cragen has likely been saving his tires. He might still have something for him. Clay Kirchenbauer out front by a couple of car lengths. Patrick Pieper in second. Edmund and Mark battling for third. Edmund's going to take it for the moment. Oh, Clay may have kissed the wall there. And Pieper shoots by underneath. Edmund closing in as well. Clay still running that high line, able to hold his momentum. Pieper still looking underneath. Edmund and Mark right behind. Pieper's losing ground on the bottom. And now Edmund is second. Pieper looks back underneath. 7 to go. This fight far from over. Brian Hewitt still leads with Andy in second, but Cragen is caught back up, and Austin Ruskoff is not done yet. This battle in the trucks definitely not over either. Clay still out front. Pieper still right there, along with Edmund and Mark. Clay way up by the wall. Pieper may have the run here. Clay loves running that right there by the wall. But sometimes it does end up biting you. And Patrick reclaims the lead. Richard Cragen now battling for second in the trucks. And Edmund Joe, whoa! 3 wide out of 4. Mark to the bottom. Clay holds on to second for the moment. 4 laps to go. And the trucks are just ahead. Will they play a factor as Clay goes to the bottom for the lead? Three to go for Patrick Pieper. Brian Hewitt still leads the trucks with Andy on his bumper. And the trucks may come into play. People are closing in on the trucks quickly. Clay, Edmund, and Mark all still there. 2 to go. People are going to the high side on Austin. But another truck ahead there, weaving low. Wow, Clay shot to the bottom. Out contact in 3 and 4. Now Edmund has a run, so does Mark. And the white flag flies one more time around. Pieper has the lead into 1 and 2. Edmund is right there. As the trucks battle for the lead just ahead. Richard Cragen to the lead in the trucks. And out of turn 4, it's a drag race to the end. Patrick Pieper wins it at the line. Edmund Jones comes home in second. Clay Kirchner in third. We've got a wreck. Andy Wilkinson has the lead. And Richard Cragen, it appears, has gone to pit road. Andy Wilkinson will win in the trucks. Brian Hewitt holds on to second. Cragen in third. We'll talk to our truck winner, then we'll talk to our top 3. Hey Andy, it's Doug. You got me?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, that was one heck of a run in that last lap. Things got exciting, but you ended up pulling off the truck win.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy. I don't know what happened there. I thought we were going to have a 3-wide, but they got a little loose, 1 and 2, and I drove away.
Oh man, it definitely paid off. You were up in the fight all night, but there at the end, you had it where it counted.
Yeah, it was a fun time. It was a good race.
It definitely was. Great job, man. Congrats on the win.
Thank you, sir.
And we'll talk to our top 3, starting with Clay. Clay, that late race caution really shook things up.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I kind of tried to get the lead on that restart, thinking I could just hold the lead if I got it, because I never had the lead all night, and it was just really hard to save tire behind people. But then once Mark cleared me, I just went into full tire save mode, and oh man, getting those trucks there right at the end was wild, huge close. And I tried to use one as a pick on Pat, and he probably saw it coming, and then I ended up getting the short end of the stick there. So super fun race though, man. That was fun.
It definitely looked like it, man. A heck of a run tonight. Congratulations, buddy. Oh, Indy finished second too. So a great night in the Kirchenbauer house.
Oh, nice. Awesome.
Congrats, buddy.
Thanks.
Edmund Jones comes home in second. Edmund, you needed your nose to be about an inch longer.
Yeah, I mean, what a hell of a race, though. I mean, it's one of those, I really wasn't trying to get into Pieper coming out of 4, but it kind of happened, and hey, good drag race to the line, though.
It definitely was. It was a heck of a race all night long. You lost some ground earlier. We saw you kiss the wall, and man, it just looked like, didn't see any damage to the car, but it looked like it wasn't driving worth a crap after that.
Well, so I pitted about 5 laps before Pieper and the rest of the guys, and just trying to undercut a little bit, and it just didn't work out. Tire gap was too big of a difference, so they were running away from me. That caution really brought me back into it. But yeah, I mean, it was what a fun way to end off this little mini series.
It definitely was. Congratulations, man. Great job.
Hey, thanks, buddy.
And finally, our winner, Patrick Pieper. Well, Patrick, I have to say, it was an eventful night all night long. And man, on fresh tires, when you guys were grouped together, things got crazy.
Oh, and it was just crazy the whole run there, especially there at the end. I mean, that was like closer to the end of what we usually have for a tire run, at least for tonight, it seemed like. But yeah, no, it was definitely eventful. I kind of tried to push up towards the wall when we were going through traffic there with like 40 to go, and then I smacked the wall, and then Clay got into one of the trucks, and then that brought out the yellow and brought us back together. And then I accidentally got into Mark under yellow because my glasses fell off, and I was trying to put them back on.
I was
So
wondering what happened because I was looking at it, I had no idea.
yeah, no, that's what happened. So sorry about that, Mark. But yeah, no, that was a really fun finish there. Just trying to battle it out with Clay and then holding off Eddie there at the end. I thought Eddie got me kind of loose enough there in the corners that I was going to be pretty slow up top, and that him and everybody else were going to maybe just creep on by. But we just kind of drag raced there, and I don't know what I got him by, but I know it was close.
2/100ths of a second.
Oh damn, okay.
It was very, very close.
Yep.
It definitely. Go ahead.
I was gonna say it was really fun just because it seemed like nobody really had an advantage. It almost seemed like anybody who was out front was almost a sitting duck as long as everybody else was doing the right thing behind them. But it just depended on if everybody was racing or not. So
It was
at the
definitely.
end, that's what really helped me was Mark and Eddie going at each other. So
Yeah, it was definitely an awesome finish, buddy. Congratulations.
all right, thanks, Doug.
Patrick Pieper pulls off the win, and man, what a race that was. Guys, don't forget tomorrow night, 7:30 Eastern, Home Motorsports is back on track for their winter season, and we have got a lot more to come. Don't forget to follow on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. We have a lot of YouTube shorts coming out, so make sure you check them out. Folks, thank you so much for being here. Hope y'all had as much fun as we did. Have a great night, everybody.